My childhood best friend said he'd help me get with my campus heartthrob roommate. But every time, he just gave me the worst advice. The mango cake I bought? My roommate was allergic to mangoes. The musical tickets I snagged? My roommate wasn't interested. Are you doing this on purpose? I asked. You figured it out, he said. So how did this stumbling block on my path to love end up becoming the one I took home? Sorry, I'm allergic to mangoes. I trudged home with the cake, totally bummed out. The moment I opened the door, I saw that jerk Ben had made himself right at home, sitting on my couch happily playing video games. Just seeing him made me mad. Hey, you've got some nerve showing your face here. Ben didn't even look up, just opened his mouth to mock me. Ooh, rejected by Charlie again? It's all because of your terrible advice, I said, snatching the game console from his hands. Charlie's allergic to mangoes. You didn't even bother to find that out. What kind of wingman are you? Even the best wingman can't win every battle. Ben rubbed his hands together and unwrapped my cake. He tasted it, making appreciative noises. This is good. I love it. If Charlie won't eat it, I will. He held the spoon up to my mouth, a playful smile on his face, and tried to coax me like a little kid. Don't be mad. Okay? I'll be sure to get all the details next time. Have a piece of cake to cool off? Ben really was ridiculously good looking. When he sweet-talked you like that, no one could stay mad at him for long. But I'd been looking at that face since we were kids, so it didn't stir any feelings in me anymore. I slapped him right on that handsome face. Eat shit. With that, I took the cake and went into my bedroom. Looking at the missing corner of the cake, I sighed deeply. Ben had accidentally found out about my crush on Charlie. During the opening ceremony, the alpha speaking on stage was dazzling, and his face, he was exactly my type. I was secretly taking pictures of Charlie from every possible angle when I felt a large hand come from behind and snatch my phone away. I whipped my head around to see my lifelong nemesis, my childhood best friend, scrolling through the photos I'd just taken. A strange look on his face. Vincent, when did you stoop to this kind of thing? Furious and embarrassed, I grabbed my phone back. None of your business. You don't like Charlie, do you? I instinctively denied it. No way. Ben wouldn't let it go. Then why were you secretly taking pictures of him? You've never even taken a picture of me. Why would I take a picture of you? Fine. I admit it. I kind of like Charlie, okay? Noticing the weird expression on Ben's face, I quickly changed the subject. Didn't you say you had something to tell me a few days ago? You can tell me now. Ben froze for a second, then slowly broke into a smile. My mom wanted me to ask if you want to come over for dinner tonight. I hadn't been over in a while, so I agreed. But from the time we left campus until we got home, Ben was totally distracted, like he was a million miles away. He was acting weird, but I didn't think much of it. Who would have thought that the very next day he'd offer to help me win over Charlie? But all he did was give me terrible ideas. With his help, not only did I not get any closer to Charlie, but things between us just got more and more awkward. Charlie. I was holding a hot breakfast, smiling at him sheepishly. I'm so sorry, I didn't know you were allergic to mangoes, so it's okay. Charlie cut me off. Vincent, you've apologized enough. This is breakfast for you. I noticed you barely eat in the morning, and that's not good for your stomach. I gave him a huge smile. You have to take care of yourself. A flicker of surprise crossed Charlie's usually cold face. He took the breakfast and said softly, "Thank you. No problem. I can bring it for you often. I'm used to waking up early anyway." Total lie. I couldn't wake up early to save my life. But I could make Ben do it. Remember to buy me breakfast tomorrow. I want congee with pork and preserved egg, a fried breadstick, and a steamer of soup dumplings. Are you a monster? I eat a big breakfast. What's it to you? Fine. Message sent. I went to sleep satisfied. The next morning, a sleepy-looking Ben was standing at my dorm room door, handing me breakfast. Here. I glanced guiltily at Charlie, who was still asleep. Okay, thanks, man. I was about to close the door when Ben, as if suddenly wide awake, shot me a sharp look. Vincent, you magnificent bastard. Don't tell me you made me buy breakfast for your crush. I jumped in panic, rushing out of the room to clamp my hand over Ben's mouth. You dare say another word? I had him pinned against the wall, and for once he just shook his head obediently. I'm warning you, this is the most useful thing you've done for my love life so far. Don't you dare mess this up or we're done. Ben looked at me in disbelief. You'd end our friendship over Charlie. Hey, I'm just kidding. Now go on. Get out of here before he wakes up. Ben's face was a mask of indignation. You're making this look like we're having an affair. You know, he wasn't wrong. It did feel a little like that. This whole sneaking around thing was a pain. I wouldn't ask Ben for help again. He was probably bad luck for me, jinxing my love life. Thanks to my daily, unwavering delivery of breakfast, I finally managed to melt a tiny corner of Charlie's icy heart. At least now he was finally willing to let me help him, even if it was just passing him a change of clothes. But this was Charlie we were talking about. A guy who would rather wear his dirty clothes home, grab fresh ones, and then go back in to shower again, all to avoid bothering his roommate. I thought about the hand that had just reached out from the crack in the door. Pale, slender, delicate, and long. Just looking at it was enough to make my head spin. I shook my head hard, trying to clear out all the dirty thoughts. What are you thinking, Vincent? You're a beta. Why are you acting like an omega in heat? I stood up and pretended to be busy making my bed. After Charlie came out of the shower, I casually asked, so, I heard you're a big fan of musicals. A friend of mine just gave me a couple of tickets. Want to go with me? Charlie gave me a strange look. I don't really like musicals. Huh? No. Wait. Freaking Ben. If I ever trust a word he says again. I'm a dog. Arg. These tickets were really expensive. My entire living allowance, you son of a bitch. Ben. I was raging internally. Charlie must have noticed how down I was, because he slowly walked over to my desk and picked up the tickets. The Lion King. Looks pretty good. Since you already have the tickets, we shouldn't let them go to waste. Let's go together. My head snapped up. Okay. But when we actually got there, Charlie, the one who was not interested in musicals, was completely engrossed. Me, the one who supposedly had a deep appreciation for musicals, couldn't fight it anymore and passed out halfway through, my eyelids feeling like they were sealed with super glue. I woke up leaning on Charlie's shoulder, having almost drooled on him. To break the awkward silence, I blurted out, so, did you think it was good? Yeah, it was pretty good, Charlie said, nodding seriously. It was really amazing. Thanks for bringing me. Hey, don't mention it, I said, waving my hand. Want to grab dinner together? I know a great restaurant. I can't, Charlie replied softly. I have something to do later. Okay, well, be safe on your way back. Oh, by the way, Charlie, the school is holding a winter retreat during the break. Are you going to go? Charlie looked down, thinking for a moment. I probably will. Great. After watching Charlie leave, I slowly clenched my fists. Ben, I'm coming for you. I texted Ben to meet me, and he agreed right away without asking any questions. What's up, my little Vincent? You summoned me? Ben, I said through gritted teeth. Where the hell are you getting your information? Charlie doesn't like musicals at all. I almost wasted the tickets I worked so hard to get. Almost? Ben said nonchalantly. So you didn't waste them. That's good. Great even. His attitude infuriated me. You did this on purpose, didn't you?
Ben feignet shoink.
Wow, you figured it out. I was so surprised I didn't know what to say. What? What did you just say? Say it again. You did it on purpose. But why? Because I don't want you to be with him, Ben said with a grin. Look at me, I'm still single. What right do you, my best friend, have to get a boyfriend before I do? If we're going to be single, we're going to be single together. You, I pointed at him, my finger trembling with rage. You're unbelievable. We parted on bad terms. I stormed off, completely ignoring him shouting my name from behind. In my mind, I had already cut ties with him. Sabotaging someone's love life is a crime punishable by death. Damn you, Ben. And to think I trusted you so much. I blocked Ben. I even made up excuses to turn down his mom's invitations for dinner. Thankfully, the winter retreat finally arrived, and I let out a huge sigh of relief. The retreat activities were done in pairs, based on dorm rooms. The thought of spending a whole week with Charlie filled me with pure bliss. After all my tireless efforts to win him over, I felt like Charlie at least saw me as half a friend. We played games together and did activities, and he even started helping me with things. I was beyond flattered. Ugh,
I'm exhausted.
I'm hitting the hay early tonight. I flopped onto my bed and saw that Charlie had already gotten into his, without saying a word. That's weird, he didn't take a shower tonight. The thought crossed my mind, but I figured he was just too tired. In the middle of the night, I was woken up by a noise. I groggily turned on the light and saw Charlie sprawled on the floor. The desk was a mess, like someone had frantically rummaged through it. Even as a beta, I knew the situation was bad. Charlie's rut had started. Charlie, are you okay? I leaned over to try and lift him. His rut had hit him hard and fast, without any warning. He was burning up. He needed a suppressant now. I glanced at the messy desk again. He obviously hadn't brought any with him. The retreat site was remote, but I remembered seeing a small supply station on the way in. They should have suppressants there. In my panic, I didn't even think to call a teacher or a doctor. Only one thought filled my head. I have to go out and buy suppressants for Charlie. Just hang in there. I'm gonna get you a suppressant right now. Charlie seemed to hear me and responded with a weak noise. My sense of direction is terrible, but this time I was surprisingly lucky. I don't know how long I ran, but I finally found the supply station. The suppressant is supposed to be injected into the gland. I managed to haul the unconscious Charlie up. His head rested on my shoulder, his swollen gland exposed and vulnerable. Just as I was about to push the plunger all the way in, my hand trembled violently, and I almost broke the needle off inside him. Ow, ow. Charlie was biting my gland. Even though I'm a beta and don't really have a proper gland, I could feel the alpha's pheromones crashing through me like a tidal wave. He still wasn't satisfied, biting down harder and deeper. I couldn't take it anymore and desperately pushed him away until he finally let go. Charlie, is this how you treat the person who just saved your life? But he was clearly out of it. I was quickly losing my strength and passed out. The next morning, I opened my eyes to see a figure sitting by my bed, staring straight at me. The shock jolted me awake.
E Charlie?
Are you feeling better? Yeah, Charlie nodded. Thanks for yesterday. My gland is a little different from a normal alpha's. My ruts come without any warning. I forgot to bring my suppressants this time, so I really owe you. Hey, it was nothing. We stared at each other in a somewhat awkward silence before Charlie suddenly spoke. Vincent, do you like me? It was like a bolt of lightning struck me. My eyes went wide. That was so sudden. Yes, is it that obvious? Charlie was silent for a long time. Then he suddenly leaned in. I didn't have time to react. His cool lips touched mine, and a shiver ran through my entire body. Did he just kiss me? Is Charlie kissing me? Charlie's kiss was as light as a dragonfly touching water, over in an instant, but it left me completely stunned. Charlie, why did you kiss me? Charlie shook his head. I don't know. Then, feeling bold, I asked, what are we now? I don't know, Charlie said softly. No one's ever been this nice to me before. His lowered eyelashes cast a beautiful, fragile curve, like the fluttering wings of a butterfly. I moved closer and put my arm around his shoulders. It's okay, I said to myself. It's okay. We can take it slow. I was so excited about taking a big step forward with Charlie that I couldn't even sleep that night. Charlie crawled into my bed and held me. Fresh from his rut, the alpha seemed to need me, to depend on me, and it made me feel like I was on cloud 9. You have a scent on you. It's really nice. I'm a beta. What scent could I possibly have? Ha ha ha. I'm glad you like it. I looked at Charlie's sleeping face and, like a total creep, stole a little kiss. We're dating now, right? As expected, Charlie didn't answer. But I didn't care. I closed my eyes, completely content. After the winter retreat ended, Ben's mom invited me over for dinner again. She said she'd come up with a new dish and insisted I come and critique it. I knew cooking was her biggest hobby, so I couldn't really refuse and agreed to go. Sitting at the dinner table face to face with Ben, The food was delicious. I was mortified. I finally understood what my friend meant when he said that no matter how much he fought with his brother, they still had to go home for dinner together. Why was it the same with childhood friends? But Mrs. Wallace had truly treated me like a second son, so there was no way I could ever really cut ties with their family. After dinner, I went to the bathroom to wash my hands, not noticing a figure trailing behind me. Ben, he bit you? What? Ben looked down at me and pointed to the back of his own neck. Trying to hide it just makes it more obvious. I'd almost forgotten that this jerk was a full head taller than me. Of course he'd see it if he looked down. So what? I retorted defiantly. You're a beta. Even if he bites you, he can't mark you. What's the point? I got a little annoyed. What's it to you? If you hadn't been a stumbling block on my path to love, we would have been a happy couple by now. I was trying to provoke Ben, but his expression didn't change much. He reached out and touched my gland, his fingers tracing the bite mark Charlie had left, sending a ticklish sensation through me. I instinctively shrank back. Is that so? Ben smiled, his meaning unclear. Just don't regret it. A few days apart, and Ben had turned into a master of passive aggression. It just made me want to ignore him even more. Leaving Ben's house, I passed a stall selling warm, fragrant chestnut cakes. The smell was so inviting on the cold winter day that I bought a portion to take back to Charlie. Charlie, I brought you something yummy. I eagerly picked up a cake and walked over to him. I never expected that just holding the cake up to his mouth would cause such a strong reaction. He shot up from his seat, knocking my hand in the process. The cake fell to the floor, getting covered in dirt. Sorry, I'm not very hungry. You can have it. I stared, stunned, as Charlie turned and walked into the bathroom without a backward glance. Charlie was always polite and courteous. Even if he wanted to refuse, he wouldn't have reacted so strongly. Was he in a bad mood today? But for the next few days, Charlie continued to act this way. He always seemed to be intentionally or unintentionally avoiding me. During gym class, when I asked him to be my partner, he told me he had already teamed up with someone else. Even when I asked him to go to the cafeteria for lunch, he made an excuse, saying he'd already eaten. I was bursting with frustration and had nowhere to vent. Charlie, I couldn't stand it anymore. The person who had been so close to me just a short while ago was now being inexplicably cold. I cut straight to the chase. Have you been avoiding me on purpose lately? Why? He kept his eyes lowered. I don't know what you're talking about. Charlie, if you don't want to be with me, if you don't want to be in a relationship, you can just tell me. I'm not trying to force you. Why are you being like this, so hot and cold? My eyes started to well up against my will. When Charlie saw me crying, he looked a little lost. I'm sorry. I'm just not used to it yet. Can you give me a little more time? In the future, can you please stop avoiding me on purpose? Charlie let out a soft sigh. I will. After we finally talked it out, Charlie and I managed to regain some of our former closeness. In psychology, there's something called an avoidant attachment style, which mainly manifests as a rejection of intimate relationships, a simultaneous desire for and distance from them. Could Charlie be one of those people? Because he always showed extreme dependence on me during his ruts. But once they were over, he would revert to his usual coldness. He was the same way in front of others. No one could tolerate someone they liked being like this. I grew more and more anxious, desperate for him to validate my existence. But whenever I tried to talk to Charlie about our relationship, he would just fall silent. Vincent, Charlie, the club's anniversary party is in a few days. Don't forget to come. Okay. I was on good terms with Nathan, the club president. A while back, he noticed I was down, and since I had no one to talk to and was in a cold war with Ben, I ended up spilling everything to him. He decided to set something up to help me and suggested I just confess to Charlie directly and get it all out in the open. At the party, Charlie and I sat at opposite ends of the table. To calm my nerves, I just kept downing drink after drink. Nathan gave me a look, then cleared his throat. Hey everyone, I heard some gossip a while ago, and the main characters are right here among us. Any guesses who it is? Amid the noisy chatter, Nathan deliberately raised his voice. Vincent, fess up. What's the deal between you and Charlie? I instinctively looked up at Charlie, but he seemed completely unfazed, his expression not changing one bit. Disappointed, an impulsive idea began to form in my mind. I stared straight at Charlie. We're probably lovers who haven't made it official yet. Maybe it was the alcohol, but my head started buzzing. I just stood up on instinct and walked over to him. Charlie, I like you and I think you like me too. So, do you want to be together? Silence. An eternity seemed to pass. Charlie slowly stood up and pushed me aside. His eyes were perfectly clear, with no trace of drunkenness.
Vincent, I'm sorry.
He rejected me. I watched his back as he walked out of the private room, tears falling without me even realizing it. He rejected me, even though we had hugged, kissed, and lain intimately in the same bed. My phone buzzed with a notification. I looked down. It was a message from Charlie. Vincent, I might have given you the wrong impression. I'm sorry. I remember telling you that my gland is different from a normal alpha's. I'm a defective alpha. Once I'm in a rut, I develop a kind of dependence on the people around me. I don't think it's affection, and it's not love. I hope you find someone who truly loves you. What the hell was this? I let out a choked, bitter laugh. What the hell was this? I refused my friend's attempts to comfort me, saying I needed to be alone. I left the room and wandered out onto the street. The early spring night was bitingly cold. I felt like my brain was swollen from crying. I was alternating between hot and cold flashes as I sat on the curb, with nowhere to go. My love life was over before it even began. Vincent. A familiar voice sounded beside me. I looked up. Ben, who I hadn't seen in ages, was looking down at me. Aren't you cold sitting here all by yourself? Come home with me. Ben found me and took me home like a stray dog. He pushed me into the bathroom, but I just sat on the toilet in a daze for half an hour without undoing a single button. Ben finally lost his patience, stripped my clothes off himself. I instinctively struggled for a moment, but then just let him. It's just a breakup. Look at the mess you are now. I never realized you were such a lovesick idiot. I'm so charming, and you still don't even look at me, but you go chasing after that freeloader. Didn't listen to your best friend, and now you're paying the price. I slowly covered my ears. Ben, why are you so annoying? That shut him up. He didn't say another word. Then, as revenge, he blew my hair into a complete mess with the hairdryer. Lying in a soft bed, next to the person I'd trusted most since I was a kid, I felt a long-lost sense of security and finally fell into a deep sleep. The next morning, my throat felt like I'd swallowed razor blades. I forced my heavy eyelids open to see Ben standing by my bed. He glanced down at the thermometer, made a TSK sound, and then said 101 degrees. You gave yourself a fever yesterday, you know that? Vincent, what would you do without me? He wouldn't even let me be sick in peace. So noisy. Sit up. Take your medicine. If it doesn't go down by tonight, I'm taking you to the doctor. I watched Ben bustling around for me, and my sore, scratchy eyes started to well up again. Ben turned to look at me and sucked in a breath. You're not still crying over that asshole Charlie, are you? I forced the tears back. Am I pathetic? I asked, my voice hoarse. Maybe.
Ben, I'm sorry.
What did you say? I said, I'm sorry. Cough, cough, cough. Ben rushed over to pat my back. You're apologizing? That's a rare sight. I was wrong to fight with you before, but what you said back then really made me angry, I continued. Anyway, I'm completely over Charlie now. That joke you made back then really came true. I might actually be single forever. It wasn't a joke. I thought I misheard him. Huh? It wasn't a joke, Vincent. I really didn't want you to date Charlie. He shrugged. It's not for any other reason. It's because I like you. You're kind of an idiot, aren't you? You couldn't tell after all these years. Charlie was never a good guy to begin with, but you wouldn't believe me. You just had to go and hit that wall yourself. How was I supposed to know? My mind was completely blank. I'd always thought of Ben as my best friend, but to think he'd been after me since who knows when? To be honest with you, I did a full background check on Charlie a long time ago. A mother with a freakish need for control, a father who's a serial cheater, and him with his own mental issues. That whole family is a mess. What good would have come from you being with him? Why didn't you say so sooner? Ben rolled his eyes. If I had, you would have just fought with me again, right? Protecting Charlie like he was your own flesh and blood. He had a point. I meekly kept my mouth shut. Anyway, I've told you how I feel. I'm not asking you for an answer right away. Don't feel any pressure. Just focus on getting better. I'm so guilty. The moment my fever broke, I waited for Ben to leave the house and made a run for it. I really couldn't accept my childhood best friend becoming my boyfriend just yet. But changing dorms was something that needed to be done immediately. When I got back to my room, I was relieved to see Charlie wasn't there. But then, halfway through packing my things, he came back. I just pretended not to see him. But Charlie seemed completely oblivious. Vincent, you're moving out? Is it because I rejected your confession? I couldn't hold it in anymore. Are you actually insane? I'm sorry. I thought about it later, and I shouldn't have embarrassed you in front of everyone. And while I can't be sure if what I feel for you is love, Vincent, I'm not opposed to being with you. Well, I am. I looked straight at Charlie. I'm opposed to it, okay? Charlie, you always say no one's ever been that nice to you before. Do you want to be with me so I can keep being nice to you? Or is it because you actually like me? Oh wait, you don't like me. You just want to mooch off my kindness. How can someone like you even exist? Ben was right. Charlie was a total freeloader. I grabbed my suitcase and walked out of the room without looking back. Well. Ben looked at me nonchalantly. I step out for a bit, and when I come back, my little puppy has run away. What am I going to do with you? I rolled my eyes. You're the dog. Ben threw his arm around my shoulder with a grin. Let's go. You're staying in my dorm. What about your roommate? He knew my wife was coming to stay, so of course he obediently moved out. I was stunned by his audacity. Who's your wife? I'm not staying with you. I already talked to my advisor about moving in with Nathan. Well, in that case, I'll just have to post those pictures of you sobbing your heart out after your breakup on the school forum. When everyone sees you like that, they'll all lose interest, you won't have a single suitor left, and you'll have no choice but to pick me. You're shameless. Shameless is as shameless does, Ben said, grabbing my suitcase without another word and half forcing, half dragging me to his dorm. See? I even made the bed for you. Thoughtful, right? In the middle of the night, I was seething. I shot daggers at Ben with my eyes. You're really thoughtful, aren't you? To have an excuse to squeeze into the same bed with me. Ben had actually soaked his own bed, and he did it right out in the open, not even trying to be sneaky about it. He didn't even bother to come up with an excuse. So you made this bed for yourself all along, didn't you? What are you talking about? It's perfectly natural for me to sleep with my own wife. I couldn't take it anymore. Ben, how did I never realize how disgustingly shameless you are? Because I'm done pretending. If I keep pretending, I'll really lose my wife for good. That time Charlie snatched you away was my mistake. Why would I let the same mistake happen a second time? Don't talk like I'm your property, I muttered. You are mine, Ben whispered, his breath warm on my neck. Did you forget? Our families arranged for us to be married when we were kids. So if we get together, it's a childhood sweetheart story. A match made in heaven. For the next few days, Ben pulled the same way. After a while, I just gave up and let him. There was absolutely nothing I could do. Don't hold me so tight, I said, exasperated. Is this your idea of wooing someone? This is how I woo someone, Ben said, completely unabashed. I just like holding you. The tighter I hold you, the more secure I feel. Normally, Ben liked to cling to me, his arm like a vice. His body temperature was slightly higher than mine, so even if he held me tight, it was actually comfortable to sleep on a cold night. But today, I was woken up by how hot he was. At first, I thought he had a fever. Ben, wake up. Do you have a fever? I tried to pry his hands off me so I could get out of bed and grab some medicine. But as I did, my thigh brushed against something hard and scorching hot. I was instantly wide awake. What are you doing? Ben's eyes fluttered open. He saw me straddling him, and his face started to turn a strange shade of red. It's the middle of the night, you don't even think about it. I cut him off immediately. Are you in your rut? I'll go get you a suppressant. Ben raised a hand to touch the back of his neck. I think I might be. You alphas are so much trouble. What did you say? I don't know what about that sentence set Ben off, but he went from lazy and relaxed to sharp and intense in an instant. How did you help Charlie before? I gave him a suppressant. Ah, no, he bit you. I want that too. What am I? A toy that everyone just wants a piece of. I refused without a second thought. No way. I'm a beta. I can't soothe you. But Ben held me down firmly, his words dripping with jealousy. Fine, you don't have to let me bite you. Then you have to help me. I turned my head away, like a virtuous martyr. No. But Ben ignored my protests, grabbed my hand, and started to do as he pleased. A wave of heat rushed to my head. I felt like I was going to be steamed alive under the covers. If I didn't know I was a beta, I would have sworn I was starting my own damn rut. Thank you, Vincent. It's finally over. Just as that thought crossed my mind, I felt a sharp pain in the back of my neck. He still bit me. That liar. That damn Ben. But I was too tired to argue. When I woke up the next day, I was furious. My neck hurt and my arm was sore. But the annoying pest Ben was full of energy, grinning like a sly fox. He clung to me affectionately. I'd push his hand away, and he'd immediately wrap it around me again. Push, wrap, push, wrap. He seemed to be having the time of his life. Ben, you are really… All right, you promised you'd come home with me for dinner this week. Let's go. I couldn't help but laugh and curse at the same time. At least get me a jacket. Do you want me to walk around like this? I was waiting for Ben in the hallway, arms crossed, when I saw the last person I wanted to see walking toward me. My good mood instantly vanished. I tried to pretend I didn't see him, but Charlie spoke as he passed. Vincent, long time no see. You let another alpha bite you? Yeah. I didn't want to waste a single word on him, but a strange sense of satisfaction bubbled up inside me. He's normal. He won't bite me and then regret it, saying it was just some bullshit rut dependency. After all, does someone who can't even figure out their own feelings deserve to be liked by anyone? So you don't like me anymore, is that it? Charlie's voice was barely a whisper. I regret ever liking you. Ha 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 ha. What a lively chat. Ben draped a large jacket over my shoulders. President Shin, what can we do for you and our Vincent? Charlie looked at Ben, his eyes calm and cold. So now he likes you. Before I could even get a yes out, Ben had already confirmed it. That's right. I'm this handsome. Is it really that surprising that he'd fall for me? Besides, President Shin, I think a good ex should act like they're dead. Don't you agree? An alpha in a rut really is terrifying. Ben's words were dripping with provocation, like a fire-breathing dragon. The two of them faced off, ice against fire, completely incompatible. In the end, Charlie said nothing and just turned and walked away. Damn it, that sucks. I thought I'd get to fight with him. I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. What's wrong with you? You wanted to fight? I get annoyed just looking at his deadpan face. I couldn't help but reflect. Seeing Ben's true colors when faced with a rival made me realize just how much he'd been holding back when he was pretending to help me pursue someone else. Mom, we're home. Ben, Vincent, you two made up? Ben's mom's eyes lit up when she saw us walk in together, a happy smile spreading across her face. Of course, what married couple stays mad at each other overnight? I gave Ben a hard pinch. Don't talk nonsense. Ha, Mrs. Wallace. How did you know we were fighting? I've watched you two grow up right under my nose. You think I wouldn't know when you're having a little tiff? Ben's mom said with a grin. All right, go wash your hands. Dinner's almost ready. Does that mean all the excuses I made? She saw right through them? Oh my God. How embarrassing. By the way, Mom, I have something to tell you. I looked up at Ben, silently swallowing the food in my mouth. I had a feeling whatever he was about to say was not going to be good. Vincent and I are together now. Vincent is your new son-in-law. Cough, 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 cough. Vincent, why are you reacting more than my mom? I coughed so hard I thought I was going to die. You could have at least given me a heads up. It's okay. Your auntie already knew. Cough, 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 cough. My coughing got even worse. This boy, Ben, he could never keep a secret. He's been so fond of you. He started telling me ages ago that he was going to marry you and bring you home. When you started dating that other alpha, he even cried to me in secret. Mom! Seeing Ben flustered and embarrassed for once made me feel instantly better. That evening, Ben's mom exposed a ton of his embarrassing secrets to me right in front of him. I was laughing so hard I could barely breathe. But later that night, Ben was determined to get his revenge for my amusement. Was it that funny?
Ben pouted.
Your happiness is built on my suffering. When you were with Charlie, I was so miserable I thought I was going to die. Couldn't tell.
Ben hyped.
But I was very satisfied with how you rejected him today. You'd better have meant it, not just said it to spite him. Of course not. Today I won't tell a single lie. Ben turned his head to look at me. I leaned in and offered him a kiss. It's true that I don't like him. And it's also true that I like you. Bonus. Ben's POV. I love Vincent. Vincent doesn't know. But that's normal. Vincent has always been a clueless, heartless guy. Whoever falls for him must have the worst luck in the world. Oh wait, that's me. On the day of the opening ceremony, I was planning to confess to him. But then I saw him secretly taking pictures of another guy. He's never even taken a picture of me. After questioning him repeatedly, I found out it was his roommate. How could Vincent like a pretty boy like that? I was furious. They say the person closest gets the prize, but nobody told me a rival could just pop up out of nowhere. Knowing Vincent's personality, if I had gone ahead with my plan and confessed, he definitely would have rejected me. So I had to come up with a terrible idea. Pretend to help him while secretly sabotaging him. Charlie's allergic to mangoes? Fine, then I'll push Vincent to buy a mango cake. That'll show him. But all my reverse psychology ended up not only failing to drive Vincent and Charlie apart, but also straining my relationship with Vincent. Vincent was going to end our friendship over some guy. Honestly, it would be a lie to say I wasn't angry at all. But I had already planned my next move. Even if I had to be forceful, as long as I could get Vincent back, it would be worth it. I never thought I'd have to use that plan. That idiot Charlie dumped Vincent first. The guy I couldn't even get to notice me, he just threw him away like trash. I actually went and fought Charlie in private. It was more like me beating him up one-sidedly. He's a weakling, after all. But Vincent doesn't know. I didn't dare tell him. From the moment I brought Vincent home, I made a silent vow to keep him securely in my territory. For the rest of my life, I will never let him go.